One of Sleeper's Media as a company's favorite players in college basketball is the one and only Dain Dainja. If you've heard my co-host Carter Elliott sing his praises the last couple years, you know what I'm talking about. Dain Dainja had a career year at Memphis this year. He started at Baylor and then had a couple years at Illinois where he was solid. He was good at times at Illinois. And then at Memphis, just broke out, was awesome. 15 points a game, 7.5 rebounds. It just terrorized Axel Lendeborg last year and antagonized him and tweeted at him after to tell him he still wanted the smoke. Memphis was very good, and Dane was a very big part of this. Well, now Dain Dainja has entered the portal. However, Dane Danger's not supposed to have another year of eligibility. That's the story here that I was told. So he only played 3 games as a freshman, but I believe he only played 3 games. It had nothing to do with an injury. I think Dane Danger just played 3 games because he was Dane Danger and Baylor didn't want any Dane Danger. So I don't know if he's going to be able to get a waiver. From the sounds of it, Dane Danger sounds like he might not get a waiver because right after this news broke that he had entered the portal, Dane himself tweeted, "Not going anywhere. No decisions have been made." Pretty unorthodox for it to be reported you're in the portal, then the player himself to say, "No, I'm not. I'm not leaving," when you're not even guaranteed to be able to play basketball this year. What do you make of this mess of a Dane Danger situation?
I love this. I think he should enter the portal next, and then like just see what happens. Because like if you just enter the portal and then you like he should just commit somewhere. Even if it's like Norfolk State or somewhere like no one would expect. What would the NCAA do? Would they double check or would they just be like, yeah, Dane's still in college? I think he should enter the portal, see what happens. I'm also like blown away. I thought he definitely played more than 1 year at Memphis. I think this dude has an argument for another year of eligibility.
Yeah. I guess we'll see, right? This is one of those weird cases where we don't know. The one thing I will say on the waiver attempting group here, because there's a bunch of dudes doing this, less waivers are being given out than I think people speculated would be given out. Like, I think a month ago, everyone sort of thought, yeah, even if you don't have that good of a case, you'll probably just get granted one. As far as I know, the NCAA hasn't granted really anybody a waiver that doesn't deserve it yet. I haven't heard of a case where, like, by the letter of the law, you deserve the waiver or you don't deserve the waiver and you get one. Haven't seen it yet. Maybe that's coming. This seems awful similar to Brooks Barnheiser's whole saga last week, right? We got Gavoni reporting that Barnheiser's in the portal. Barnheiser himself an hour later says, "I'm not in the portal yet. I don't know what that is." They delete the tweet. And then 2 days later, it's pretty clear Barnheiser's trying to get a waiver. And then 2 years later, or 2 weeks later, Barnheiser's saying, "Yeah, I'm not getting the waiver." And then he tweets out, I'm a Wildcat for life." That's what this feels like with Dane. Like I think we saw this play out in an hour. Dane entered the portal. Pete Thamel tweeted it, said he intends to enter the portal. Probably in the next 2 hours, Dane found out he's not getting a waiver and then tweeted, "I'm not leaving." Like I think that's just the obvious sequence here. Now, maybe it shocks people late and he gets a waiver. But let's be clear. Like Pete Thamel reported, Dane intends to enter the portal. When somebody of that level is reporting you enter the portal, you don't intend on staying. I don't care what you say 2 hours later on your Twitter.
You might notice there's a lot of lights on behind me. There's a big ring light I'm using to record this. You want to know why those lights stay on? Because of Underdog, because of these ad reads, people.
Yeah, we heard your feedback. You're annoyed that we keep putting Underdog ads in the middle of our videos. Well, guess what? We got to keep the lights on, and we need some people to sign up for Underdog Fantasy. If you like these videos, if you want us to keep making videos, sign up with Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code SLEEPERS, and they actually have an awesome offer for you. You can receive up to $1,000 in bonus credits. 50% of your first deposit will be distributed in bonus credits, and you get a free pick. And Cart, I got a pick with Underdog Fantasy for this weekend that I'm already eyeing. We got the Pistons and the Knicks, first playoff series in a while for our favorite team. Cade Cunningham over 27.5 points. I'm taking higher than that for my pick with Underdog. Promo code SLEEPERS. Sign up with Underdog Fantasy. It helps the show. It helps us keep making these videos for you. Back to the show.
I mean, I think he should go. So, can I ask you a question? I feel like people got waivers that were already entering the portal before, though. Like, and they would like commit and then they would ask for the waiver. So like
That's
are people
happened. It's
I
happened.
think I think that's how you get the waiver without having a case is you just tell the NCAA, yeah, I'm going to Kansas next year. Do something about it.
Honestly, this seems like a right up your alley play as your consulting services. I feel like the move is just commit to a school and then threaten to sue.
Yeah.
Have the school threaten to sue and
Yeah.
see if I'm allowed to play next year.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe that happens, but the only thing that has surprised me in this 24 hours of Dane portal talk is Dane himself saying I'm not going anywhere. That's the only part that surprises me.
I want a comment from Penny in Memphis. Did they know he was playing basketball next year? Like, what is their stance on this?
From talking to the Memphis folks, and by Memphis folks, I really just mean John Martin. Shout out to John Martin, who is, in my opinion, the go-to guy for all things Memphis sports. But I don't know if he's kidding or not. But anytime he's sending updated like my Memphis plan for next year, right now it's like Doug McDaniel, the commit they just got, and then Dane at center with a waiver in parentheses. So I think if I take that as word, I think Memphis wants Dane back and is planning on him being their starting center. I don't think he's getting a waiver.
If Doug and Dane play together, are you and Cart about to save the mid-major basketball?
I'm gonna say we just moved to save the Big Ten efforts to save the mid majors. I mean, it would literally be my favorite player in the country with Cart's favorite player in the country. I asked John Martin yesterday to make sure he revives the Chug McDaniel. Because he was like, what is that? And I was like, well, when Doug goes for 20 and 6 in a win, you have to chug your drink. And then 11 games later, when he goes for 20 and 6 in your 11th straight loss, it's a chug McJack Daniels.
I love that.
And then you just chug Jack Daniels. Yeah, pretty
I
great.
love that.
Yeah.
They should to complete like the sleepers like trio, they should get Chad Baker Mazara.
Memphis, good luck. That's my thought to you throughout this Dane process. With that said, I greatly hope we get to see Dane play college basketball one more year somewhere. I'm not even going to speculate schools until he gets a waiver because I learned my lesson with Brooks Barnheiser.